Welcome to the transfer advising session. Today I am joined by myself, Cesar Barrios, also Mitzi Orm and Erica Juarez, and we'll just be going over the presentation with you all today. This is generally what we'll be talking to you about today. Once you are done viewing this presentation, you will have the ability to register for your courses, but we'll want to make sure that you get all the important information that you need to know before you start courses in the fall. So engineer has been and is the maker of history. As most of you all know, one of the big reasons that you are becoming engineers is because you know that you will have a huge impact in society. And as academic advisors, we are, very happy to be part of your journey as engineers because we know you will be making a huge impact once you graduate. So Welcome Week is an entire week that is dedicated to all students. There is a new student convocation, a Dean's Welcome, and an involvement fair. So that Anteater involvement fair is something we do encourage all students to attend because that's where all the clubs and organizations will be presenting all of their information. So if you're someone that wants to get involved early or just see what kind of opportunities are out there for you that are outside of your classroom, we do highly recommend that you go to this specific fair. Now, this is all virtual this year from September 20th to October 2nd. And the Welcome Week website that you see on there is available. It is live with some information on there. So make sure that you visit that website. So some important dates that most of you should have already received. So for all transfer students, spring transcripts were due July 1st. Now the registrar office does recognize that there has been some difficulties with some campuses in terms of having transcripts sent over to other universities. So, if you got those in a little bit late, there weren't any penalties, fees. For September 15th, there's also the summer transcripts were due. So if you took any summer courses, we want to make sure that you have those in by September 15th. And if you are an international student, you do have to complete the iNavigate, that is, electronic visa check-in. If you have any questions regarding the International Center, you want to make sure that you reach out to them as soon as possible. So before fall, you want to make sure that you also have most of these done. The primary one that's coming up right now is fees. Those are due September 16th at 4:30. So make sure that you pay those on time. If you receive financial aid, you want to make sure that you have a minimum of 6 units enrolled so that your financial aid can apply. So if you receive financial aid as well, your fees are automatically paid by that office. If you don't receive financial aid, you can pay your fees through the Zot account online and virtually, so you don't have to turn in a check or anything. If you have any questions, they are available through phone on that phone number that you see on there. The deadline for waiving out of the university health insurance was September 1st. But if you have any questions regarding how that plan works, you can reach out to UCSHIP health insurance for UCI so they can, answer all the questions that you have that are related to the university insurance. And if you have any other questions regarding your admissions, you can reach out to the admissions office through my admissions application at uci.edu. So something to know about the campus is that we are located in a very large circle. So it's very, very easy to get from one point to another on campus. You really can't get lost. But the other thing is we are divided into various schools, and each of these schools does have jurisdiction over specific courses and majors. So, within the School of Engineering, you have all the engineering majors, and later on today, we will be reviewing all the engineering majors that we house, but let's say you're interested in a minor or a major outside of engineering, you would want to contact that specific school to kind of review all of the requirements and also get cleared for specific courses. So a good example of this would be, if you were interested in a chemistry second major, you would contact the physical sciences office to get cleared for those specific courses. So again, if you are interested in a school outside of engineering, you do want to reach out to the specific school that houses that major to get more general information about that specific major. So some policies and procedures. So everyone does have admissions conditions. So you want to make sure that if you did not meet your conditions, that you reach out to your admission counselor. Not meeting those conditions may result in your admission being revoked. So you want to make sure that you contact your admissions counselor regarding your status as soon as possible. So the UCI catalog is essentially your contract with the university. So all new transfer students are subject to following the newest catalog that you enter. So you are entering fall 2020, so you would be following the fall 2020 to spring 2021 catalog year. This is live now, so if you just Google search catalog UCI, this would be the first page that comes up. So if you want to get ahead and just kind of look at all the future courses you could take, or just course descriptions, the catalog is up for you to be able to review. And just if you're interested in anything else regarding UCI, it is posted on that catalog. So one of the things that is posted on the catalog is your academic requirements. So everything that you need to obtain your degree. For degree requirements, you have the UCI requirements, general education requirements, and major requirements. You want to make sure that you complete all three of these so that you can get your degree. UC requirements would be entry-level writing and American history institutions. A good percentage of all new transfer students do have these completed because you take all of your writing there, and you typically also take a history and or political science course. So for a majority of you, this should already be completed before you start your courses at UCI. But if for some reason you don't, this is something we'll be discussing with you during your first transfer appointment in the fall. Another way for you to finish your UC general education requirements is with IGETC. So there's, the general way to finish by just taking a bunch of courses, but some campuses do offer IGETC, which is a kind of a guided way of you completing UC general education requirements at your community college. If you've never heard of this requirement, it's fine. You're not, losing on anything. But if you do have this specific requirement done, IGETC or partial IGETC, you want to make sure that you have that document sent to your UCI counselor by winter 2021. If we do not receive this IGETC document by then, we would put a hold on your account. And as a reminder, IGETC and partial IGETC are slightly different. Partial IGETC means that you did not complete 2 courses to finish IGETC. So again, if you have any specific questions on whether or not you have this document, you want to make sure that you contact your college counselor, since they are the ones that can certify this document. And you want to make sure that you have this in again by winter 2021. If you complete IGETC, the only thing that isn't completed is upper division writing. Upper division writing is a course that you complete with your majors, so you have to take that course at UCI. And this is just a quick snapshot of Degreeworks. I know some community colleges have a version of Degreeworks or another way of keeping track of all your degree requirements. with all the courses that you completed, you will see them marked off as, yellow and green. If you're missing requirements, there'll be like a pinkish, reddish color, as you can see in that second half of that screen. So for transfer students, this is a manual update that all counselors have to make for their students. So, if you go to your Degreeworks today, don't worry too much about all the missing things that you see on there. We do have to go in there as counselors to update everything manually. So we will have a chance to do this for you when we see you in the fall. So again, don't worry too much about Degreeworks for now. And now I will pass it on to Mitzi, who will talk to you a little bit more about more policies and procedures.
Thank you, Caesar. As a student here at UCI, we will not release your grades, your class schedule, or your academic status without written permission from you. If you would like us to release this information, there's a FERPA release form that you can sign and return to the Engineering Advising Office. The complete policy is listed through the link below on this page. Next slide, please. As a student here at UCI, you are expected to make normal degree progress. Failure to make progress may subject to you to disqualification from the engineering major. Some of the ways that you may not be making normal progress: failure to complete 12 units in any given quarter, failure to maintain a 2.0 GPA in all your coursework, all your engineering coursework, and all upper division engineering coursework. You will be placed on academic probation if your GPA falls below a 2.0, but is higher than a 1.5, and you are subject to disqualification if you have 2 consecutive quarters with a GPA below a 2.0, or 1 quarter with your GPA, your quarterly GPA below a 1.5. We do have a rule, we call it the 1.5 rule for incoming transfer students. Your first 2 quarters at UCI, that would be fall quarter and winter quarter, you must obtain at least a quarterly GPA of 1.5. If you do not reach that 1.5 quarterly GPA, you may be dismissed from engineering, and if you want to stay at UCI, you will have to find a major outside of engineering. Next slide, please. Academic honesty. To quote directly from the Office of Academic Integrity and Student Conduct, academic misconduct in its most basic form is gaining or attempting to gain a grade, a degree, or other academic accomplishments by any means other than through your own work. The complete policy is listed in the catalog. I encourage you to review the policy before school starts in the fall. Consequences can range from failing a grade to being dismissed from the university. Adding, dropping, and changing a grade option. Here at UCI, we have strict deadlines for making changes to your schedule. If you want to add or drop a class, you have until the deadline is Friday of the second week of the quarter by 5 p.m. If you want to, if you want to, no grade change will be allowed after the 6th week. If you want to make a change after the deadline, they will be by enrollment exception only, and they will be reviewed by our department, and you will need to provide documentation. Next slide, please. Grades. All classes towards your major must be taken for a letter grade. So at this point, the only courses that you can take using the pass, no pass option would be your general ed courses. Um, some of the majors have a graded prereq where you need to obtain at least a C or a C minus grade to move forward with your plan of study. Next slide, please. Repeating courses. You may repeat courses in which you receive a grade of a C minus or lower. You are not allowed to repeat courses in which your grade was a C or higher. You are allowed to repeat 16 units. Most classes are 4 units, so that's going to equate to about 4 classes. When you repeat a course, it's the newest grade or the most current time that you completed the class. That's the grade that will be reflected in your GPA. We here at UCI, we have 11 majors and we have 6 departments. This shows you a listing of our departments. Next slide, please. And this shows you our 11 majors. We also have 2 minors. We have a minor in BME and a minor in material science. Next slide, please. Becoming involved. There's various ways as an incoming transfer student that you can become involved at UCI. We highly encourage you to get involved right your first quarter here. There's even things that you can do during the summer that I'm going to go over to help prepare you to get involved for the upcoming school year. The first is research. In order to do research, you need to reach out to a professor and line up research. So if research is something that you're interested in doing when you transfer in and you start here, I would encourage you to look at the professor's pages and get an idea of the type of professor that you want to work with and the type of research he is doing, and to reach out to the professor directly. You can also get involved as a student with projects. A lot of students want to start doing hands-on work. So we have a listing of projects that you can get involved in right away. Also, a lot of students are interested in obtaining internships. We do have the career pathways, and they have a wealth of information that can help you with looking for an internship or a job. And then lastly, I encourage you to join a club. And we have a listing of the student organizations on campus. Next slide, please. Enrolling in research. So I mentioned that if you were interested in enrolling in research, you would need to reach out to the professor directly and let the professor know that you're interested in doing research. And if you're able to line up a research opportunity, there is a form that you would need to fill out. So you can be officially enrolled in the research and to have it noted on your transcript. So if you can just remember that there is a form if you line up research, and to be sure to fill out the form, have it signed by your instructor, and to bring it back or to email it to the advising office. Also of note, if you are an electrical or computer engineering major, you need to have at least a 3.0 GPA to apply for research. Next slide. This slide shows you all the companies that are within walking distance or a short driving distance of the UCI campus. It gives you an idea of all the opportunities for you to get a job or to do an internship. A lot of these companies are right here, will recruit during our career fairs. So The next slide is on the Career Center, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more. Next slide. This is even during the summer, before you start here in the fall, I encourage you to go to the Division of Career Pathways website. They have a wealth of information. A lot of transfer students are interested in putting together their cover letter, their resume. They want to know how to prepare for an interview, for a career fair. There's resources to help you with all that through the Career Pathways office. And I encourage you to log on and start looking and at their website and to sign up for some of their workshops. And we do have some career fairs. We have one in the fall. And so if you're interested in getting an internship, I highly encourage you to look at this website. I'm now going to turn it over to Erica.
Thank you, Mitzi. So now we're going to talk about, we're going to continue talking about a few ways of becoming involved. So our Engineering Student Council, they do host many events throughout the year. Engineers Week is one of them. This typically happens in the winter, and this is a week-long event that really helps to promote our interaction and communication between our engineering students, our faculty, our alumni, and also industry. As you can see here to the right, we have a snapshot of the event that happened earlier in this year. So there's plenty of ways to network. We have our big Engitech Career Fair as well. I believe in this next upcoming year, this might be virtual, but I know that they are still very much involved in making sure that there's a community and that you are being connected with your fellow engineering students. Now, we do want to remind you to be on top of your degree. And what we mean by that is it is your responsibility to be on top of your degree requirements and to graduate on time. As a transfer student, you do have to graduate within 3 years. Now, the way to successfully facilitate that would be to follow your program of study that will be given to you from your academic counselor. Now, this will happen in the fall when you have your first full appointment with your academic counselor. They will go over your plan of study so you know exactly what your time here at UCI will look like. We do encourage you to contact your counselor for any assistance. We recommend meeting with us at least once a year, strongly recommended, but we are here for you throughout the year. You can do quarterly check-ins, whether that be via our walk-ins, emails, or appointments. The academic framework for engineering. So engineering coursework is built on a foundation of math and science. So it is really important that when you're taking these classes that you do take note that most of these classes are either prereqs for the next courses that are coming up, or they're co-reqs and you're taking them together. So a big emphasis on retaining this knowledge. When you are studying, please remember to study to learn the knowledge, not just to pass the class, as these classes will help you with the upcoming classes that are coming up and in your career. We've listed here a few strategies for success. Now, one, we would say treat school as your full-time job. We want to encourage you to also utilize the resources around you. So go to office hours, either with your professor or your TA. If you ever need anything clarified, just remember not to fall behind. The quarter does run very fast. It is 10 weeks long. So asking for help the minute you need it would be key. Also, we want to remind you to be realistic about the amount of work that you can get done in a given period. So what that really means is do not procrastinate. Get started early, ask your questions, study. And when we talk about studying, we encourage you to study at least 3 hours per week for every 1 unit that you are enrolled in. I'm going to be going over some academic resources as well that are available on campus. So this slide is, we do have a list of important offices. Now currently, as you know, the fall quarter is virtual. So all of these offices are very much present and available virtually. The first one we have is our UCI admissions office. So you can refer to their website for important deadlines and events. The second one, the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships. They have a lot of important information on their website as well. News, announcements, resources, and important deadlines. The University Registrar's website, this will probably be one of the most used websites that you'll use throughout your time here at UCI. Now you can review for important campus information. They have the campus calendar, fees, and graduation information. There's a few tabs on this website, and two tabs that I want to highlight that you'll be using frequently is schedule of classes and also WebReg. So on schedule of classes, this is where you will be able to preview and view current and upcoming courses for the class schedule. And on WebReg is where you will actually go in and register for your classes. The UCI Irvine student housing, you can refer there for more information on student housing. Learning and Academic Resource Center, also known as LARC, they do host tutoring, tutorial sessions, they have study tips, and they do have a few free workshops as well. And they are very much available virtually for the fall. Our UCI Counseling Center is available to UCI students. They do have a range of mental health services, crisis support, resources for managing stress, and also assessing wellness. As Missy talked about earlier, we have our Division of Career Pathways. So we highly encourage you to get in touch with them early on, start networking, kind of brushing up your resume, your cover letter, and they can also help you with interviewing tips. UCI Transportation and Distribution Services, they do have a campus map, so when we are back on campus, you can refer to that map, places to park, and also where you will purchase your parking permit. Our UCI Disability Services Center, they provide a culture of inclusion and equal opportunities for students with disabilities. Our Student Health Center, they have medical and dental services, health and wellness resources. And lastly, we have Fresh Hub. So Fresh Hub offers students access to food and toiletry pantry. They also have social worker consultations, and they also have life skills workshops. Now this presentation will be available on our undergraduate website. So you will be able to refer to it and click on all of these links so that you can visit these websites and take your time with them. The Office of Access and Inclusion, also known as OAI, they are located in Rockwell Engineering Center 201 on the second floor, which is also the same building where our building is located, but currently they are very much available virtually as well. They have free one-on-one mentoring and tutoring available, academic and career skills workshops. They offer professional development, workshops throughout the quarter, and also internship and job shadowing opportunities. We have their website here posted for their mentor schedule. Now, every quarter, the mentor schedule gets updated on week 2, and that is actually when the tutors are available to help. And I do want to talk a little bit about faculty advising. So all students are required to attend faculty advising session once a year. Now, this is done directly by faculty. It is required for our accreditation. You will get an email notification regarding the date and time for your specific department. So going forward, we really recommend that you are frequently checking your UCI email account and always check your inbox and junk. Failure to attend a faculty advising session will result in a hold for the following term of enrollment. So you want to make sure that you're not missing out on this date. We do want to emphasize that faculty advising is not the same as meeting with your academic counselor. And we'll go over that in the next slide. Now, academic advising is done through our office, and it is not the same as faculty advising. As new engineering transfer students, we do want to make sure that we have your first appointment with you early on. We would say at least by the end of winter quarter, you should have already met with your academic counselor, but ideally we want to see you in the fall. So in the fall is when you will be given your full plan of study. This is when you should really bring your IGETC certificate if this is something that you have. We will be meeting with our new transfer students starting the week of October 5th. So you can start scheduling your appointments for this week and on. Now to schedule your appointment, you will email us at ugengr@uci.edu. Again, this is when you will bring your full IGETC or partial IGETC, and your full program of study will be discussed. Now, currently, as we said earlier, we are available virtually. So we do have a feature on our website that is called ZotChat. I highly encourage you all to visit our website, and I will have the link in the next slide. On our website, you will find many resources for your major, tutoring resources, many of these important offices that we mentioned, and also updates from our office. Our hours typically during the week are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. When you are on our website, you will want to make sure that your ad blocker is off. That is the only way that this ZotChat feature will pop up for you. And ZotChat is intended for quick questions. So if your question is more so something that would require an appointment, you would want to email us here at ugengr@uci.edu. And we do want to welcome you to UCI and the Somali School of Engineering. This is our staff here. We are all very much excited to meet you and be a part of your academic journey, and we will see you in the fall.